Hello and welcome to Point of View, where we give students a place to listen, learn, and lean in. I'm your host Thomas, along with
Logan,
Emerson,
Aiden.
And today we'll be talking about absurd would you rather questions. And to start it off, I think we're going to go with something quite simple. Guys, would you rather get $5 million right this instant, or would you rather get $5 billion adjusted for inflation when you're 60?
Okay, so my first immediate thought with having this question, when I heard this, when we were going through all these, is if this only makes sense if you don't know how to invest stuff, because the difference between living a 5 million and a 5 billion life is not going to be that crazy unless you want to do insane stuff. I don't want to do insane stuff with that much money. So what I would probably do is get 5 million now, invest the great majority. You can keep 100,000, like 100K, which is a good year's salary, and still have 4,900,000 to invest until, 50 years, 20 years?
More like 40, I think.
40 years, and you can invest at 4,900,000 and you'll be fine. You'll live forever.
Are you sure you're just not a pansy, though?
Huh?
Be wild when you're 60, Who cares about
I don't
all the
want to
back
be wild
problems?
when I'm 60. I want to live a confident, healthy life my entire life. What's up, Aiden?
Okay, so I can say pretty confidently that actually the other answer is the best one. $60 billion. I don't think you realize the difference.
It's not $60 billion, it's $5 billion.
$5 billion? Whatever. It's a lot of money. Long story short.
Yeah, but
I
5 million is
remember that
also a
one.
lot of money.
Okay, so here's the deal, right? Your point is right. People who don't know how to invest, it would be more ideal. But I think you're undervaluing how big of a difference 5 million and 5 billion is. Even if you invest 5 million, you still won't.
Yeah.
You realistically won't even come close.
Yeah, exactly.
To 5 billion.
I don't think. Okay, I agree. I will never hit 5 billion investing my 4.9 million from 17. I don't need to, because you can live with 1 million. You can live a great life with 1 million. At times 20, times whatever. I'm not that great at investing, but with $5 million, I can be great at investing. I'll just hire someone. You know what I'm saying?
I want a all expense paid life after 60.
Yeah, but
I want my last 20 years for me to just spend. I don't even want to look at my bank account. I just want to choose my credit card and be like, you know what? I worked really hard these past 2 years, but I don't really care. Ching, ching, ching. Get anything I want. Maybe donate it.
That's fair. But I want an easy life as a whole. I don't want my last 20 years to be pretty good. I would like it all to be good.
I feel like if you get $5 million at the age of 16, or however old you guys are, right? I feel like you're not going to work as hard in life, though. You know
cares?
what I mean?
Money.
Who cares? I mean, if you're smart enough with it, you can make it
You do
last.
have less of a motivator to do as much, but that means you can do passion jobs. That means you can live a life with passion and not having to work for the money. I want to be a teacher. That 5 million for my entire life is going to make me feel confident in being a teacher because I can fiscally afford it now.
I mean, but I feel like if you already have $5 million, it's going to be really hard to look for fulfillment outside because you don't really feel like you're working for anything that you get, right?
Huh.
I mean, from what I've heard, if you're set with money, then getting more money doesn't necessarily make you more happy. So I guess that is true.
Right, but I want to teach. I'm going to get
That's-
fulfilled. This is a would you rather personally, right?
Yeah.
I think as a whole, great point. You were incredibly right. For me, I want to find fulfillment in my job through helping people. And if I have the money to afford to do that easily,
But you could help so many people with $5 billion.
that's true. Or I could just wait until 60 and then do a lot of wait a second.
But now the issue is how much would the world have improved in 40 years? Would there still be a need to try and invest money into charities and stuff, or would the world have just improved past that?
I believe so.
Of course there would be. There's always improvement out there.
Okay, so you just asked the question: would there still be a need to donate to charities?
I mean,
we're not living in utopia.
You can't. But my interpretation of that is, will everything be so ruined in 50 years that there's nothing worth doing anymore?
But then you have 60. It's like a no 60. Sorry, 5. It's like a refresh, right? Because you're everyone's poor, everyone's miserable. So I'm oh wait, no, I'm actually the richest person alive now. Immediate bump up in society.
Just waiting until that moment, living an awful life, everything goes to crap. Inflation ruins everything. We're in a recession, but at 60, you're living it big.
What if you just start using the 5 billion and just those barrel fires on the side of the street?
I'll be honest. Now, that's a really good point. And that got really close to changing my mind. But as selfish as it is, I would rather just a very comfortable, good life for me, my entire life, than have a miserable life and then help the world. I don't know what that says about me, but I would rather just enjoy my life because I only get one of them.
Okay.
So that's one vote for the
5 million.
5 million, yeah.
And
I mean, I'm personally also in favor for the 5 million because, well, you know, imagine the amount of fun you could have as a teenager with just 5 million.
so we want to waste it all.
Yeah, exactly.
So you didn't realize that's my point. I'm just more patient.
Hey, you're
Well,
just
yeah,
voting
but
no.
when you're 60, right? You're gonna be too old to use it, like, and have fun. You know, I'm gonna be able to go skydiving. Your back is gonna break the moment like that you pull the cord on the parachute.
So that's
You're
one
assuming
vote
that
for
I
5
wouldn't
million.
like replace my entire body with like cybernetics because I have $1 billion.
Yeah, I would just rather not do that at all.
Like I'm living in 2077. Like
Oh, wait, yeah. Huh. Yeah, like the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No
I'm
way.
not gonna ship of Theseus my own body, though. I'm fine.
I mean, as long as my brain is there, I don't really care.
This is a different debate entirely. so you're saying 5 billion? And,
Yes,
okay.
that's my answer.
I agree. 5 billion.
Stalemate. No one. Okay. So that means now 50-50, tied. Whoever. Aiden, we're gonna move on to our next point and see if we can
Yep.
get an opinion. What's up?
All right. Would you rather be able to fly when you are happy or when you're sad?
And as I understand it, only when you're happy or only
Yeah.
when you're sad, right?
If you feel any other emotion,
Whoa. Okay. Well.
you know, going down a little bit.
Well, I gave my opinion first last time, so let's give it to someone else. Thomas.
So there is actually a gray area for this. What if like you're feeling like 40% sad? You know,
It
has to just-
it's not the majority.
you have to be just like
It has to be
completely
the majority.
depressed.
Or like
No, I'm not talking like, just to clarify, that's what I'm trying to say at the beginning. I'm not talking like complete emotion, but it has to be the majority. Like you have to be generally able to say, "Oh, I'm feeling pretty happy right now."
Oh, okay.
You can feel nervousness, I suppose, because that's just going to be natural if you're flying through the air.
Yeah.
It's not going to like immediately just jump and you just stop because you feel a little nervous. But you have to, if you go off from feeling happy or sad, say you feel like straight fear, for example, then you can't do it anymore.
Okay, so now I'm almost risking not wanting to do any of them because you're saying you can fly with a chance of if you get distracted or have a different feeling, you fall to the ground and die. That's what I'm hearing now. So I'm going to interpret it in my own way, honestly, and just be like, pretty happy you can fly. I don't want to introduce a theoretical death into this because that skews the question in my brain. I'm a pretty happy person, generally. I think flying when you're happy... What was that head twist? Like you were disagreeing with me. I think I'm happy. Okay, well... So, okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm more I'm hurt. No, I'm sad. I pick sad now. No.
I think I actually have to say I'll pick sad too, but for my reasons, right? If I'm flying, I mean, being happy is pretty cool. You can fly, you know, be pretty ecstatic, like, oh, I'm flying, oh, yeah, I'm cool. But then if you're sad, right, it's always like a fail-safe, right?
Elaborate.
So, like, let's say, right, you're flying, right? You don't have to necessarily fly that,
You're flying. You don't have to necessarily... What do you mean a failsafe?
like, you feel a little sad that you're falling, right?
Oh! What?
Oh! No, sorry, I understand what you're talking about.
No. Okay, so, like, your failsafe is... You're not gonna be...
Okay, I don't know if we can...
Like, if
continue
you
with this
fly, you get happy that you're flying. You fall, you're gonna get sad that you're falling.
Yeah, and then
you'll
you
correct.
start flying. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. That's where I was going with that.
Okay. I see the argument.
Yeah.
Straight up, yeah, that's a pretty good point. What about you?
Yeah.
Let's move.
I don't know, man. Personally, I think I would rather fly while I'm happy, right?
Right.
I'm a very happy
Yeah,
person.
and no one's gonna disagree
Yeah.
with you on that one. No one's gonna give you a funny look about that.
Yeah, I think I've also changed my mind. I think happy is definitely the better one.
Wait, so have we reversed? Okay, wait. So what's your argument before we move?
That's my argument. I'm pretty happy. I don't really get sad ever.
Well, I'm personally on the side of sad simply because I can think of sad things and wow, I get the ability to fly. Crazy.
But like, what do you? I feel like you're not gonna enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna enjoy it, but like it's efficiency over enjoyment, you know?
Here's the
So,
thing, though. If you get sad, right, and you're flying, I feel like flying would make me so happy. That would be
That's
so
fine.
fun.
Okay, but
and
like
then you
what
would
if
just fall.
what if you're thinking about like, I don't know, kicking puppies the entire time?
Where do you need to fly that badly? That you need to constantly think
you
about
know
the
it.
most
You know Atlanta
miserable-
traffic, dude.
You know what? I can't I'm gonna pick happy just because there's too many logistical. I would be happy while flying and probably. And I just don't want to motivate myself to be sad. It's really easy to be sad in this day and age. I don't want to motivate my.
You don't want to motivate yourself to be
No,
sad.
I don't want to motivate myself to be sad. I would rather just enjoy life and get some benefits.
I mean,
because of that.
yeah. Now that I've changed my opinion, I just want to elaborate on that a little bit. Like, at first I was sad because I'm more of Thomas's mindset, where I could fly, be efficient, right? I can imagine kicking puppies and have fly
I
to my
guess.
destination.
Or you could just drive a car.
But no, it's like no traffic, right?
Yeah, but
So-
it's not the kicking puppy mobile, bro. It's like, I don't
But
know.
no.
I'll deal with traffic.
I'm on your side now. I'm happy, right? So I'll be happy. I'll be ecstatic. I'm like, wow, I'm flying. That's pretty cool. And I'll be happy. Like, there's no reason. Like, I'm not gonna get hit by like a bird and like change my opinion.
Well,
of, like,
you might get hit by a bug, and like all of a sudden
Oh.
you're. Yeah, we're going too long. We're
Wait, get hit by a what?
like a bug. You fly into a bug.
Oh,
and then
that would
ew,
suck,
and
yeah.
then you know what? I'm
I
gonna
could
be
rub it
honest.
off,
No matter if
yeah.
I pick happy or sad, I'm probably not gonna fly that much. I don't.
Oh,
see
you'll
myself
probably get
flying
caught
a
by the
lot.
government or something.
Yeah, the government's the big bad for this question at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
so let's just get the answers. Happy for me.
I'm sad.
Sad for him.
Happy.
Happy. Look at that. Point of view is a very happy group.
Aw.
Okay, well,
Next
with nothing
one.
else to add, Emerson, would you like to read yours?
Yes, I would love to read mine. So here's an interesting question, I think. Would you rather be taller than every doorway, okay, or shorter than every doorknob? What do you think, Aiden?
I would personally rather be taller than a doorway because, you know, I feel like I could go a lot of places for that, right? Well, one, I could travel faster, right? You know, more efficient. Like longer legs, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could be more efficient. I could be like, yeah, you're short. You know, I always have the superiority in any conversation I have. I could play any sport that involves height significantly easier. Like, let's say I'm playing volleyball, right? And other side tries hitting it over. Like, I just raise my arm, hit it back down.
Okay.
A basketball don't even need to jump. You know, it's a lot of luxuries in life. And that, I don't see myself getting as many gains if I'm short because a lot of that can be exactly reversed. Shorter in sports, you have a harder time.
Well,
shorter,
how many sports are you playing right now?
for example, I play volleyball every day in gym. So
Okay,
I'm
so
actively
you could make
doing,
your gym more fun for a semester.
for an example,
For an example, true.
there's so many places I could go with this, and I'm sure everyone can come up with their own ideas of what would be easier to do as
Exactly.
tall. The only inconvenience I have is really stepping through a doorway.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I like being tall. It gives you that superiority. But if you're that tall, you're going to get so many health problems. Legitimately, being that tall, I assume there are some gray area. I don't know if it's like a sudden transformation or you're born. You just. It's not good to be that tall. It's really bad for your back. It's really hard to find clothes that fit you. It's really hard to sleep. It's even hard to find a good bed. Everything's more expensive because you get the top aisle of the grocery or call people short, but like, what's that worth if everything? You could wear really good kids fashion if you were that short. Like there's good things you can.
Oh,
do.
and they're cheap too.
And they're cheap, exactly. Like, if we're thinking about this fiscally, I'm not going to suddenly be good at basketball because I'm like, what, 8, however tall the doorways in the school are. Like, yeah, but like, I'm going to be still awkward. I'm still going to be clunky. Like, I'm not going to be amazing at basketball or volleyball or
I
whatever.
do have something I want to add on.
Go ahead.
The question, as you phrased it, you said every doorway. Does this also include? Does this also include like the
gates?
vehicle? Like, oh no, you know how NASA has like a spaceship like creation station? You mean like larger than the gate
Do
they
you
have to go?
shapeshift? Is the real question.
So it's either like 8 foot or like 50 foot.
I'm gonna say 8 foot for simplicity's sake,
Yeah, that's
honestly,
fair.
but that's a good question.
Regardless, I still think going shorter than every doorknob is the way because, again, health problems. You know, I don't look. My back's already gonna be bad because of my posture. When I'm 60 and getting my $5 billion, you know,
Yeah.
I don't need to be worse.
Right. But I'm gonna be honest. Even though I just named a bunch of bad things for being taller, I'm still picking taller because I just don't want to be that short. I don't
Okay,
have a
but, like, you would get,
compelling
like-
argument. I don't have a heavy point. I just don't want to be that short.
Okay, but you would get like an actually good reason to ride a Segway everywhere.
Who wants to ride a Segway, bro?
Okay,
You look like a
I don't
jerk.
think I've heard someone mention a Segway
Yeah.
in like the past 5 years.
Yeah, but
the last
it'd
one
be
I heard about
awesome,
was
though.
like Paul Blart.
Would it really be awesome?
It would be
Would
awesome.
life be amazing if you were short and made fun of by everyone, but you could ride a Segway everywhere?
Yeah. You see, I just have a whimsy.
This isn't a whimsy conversation. Segways make people look like jerks. Okay, we have gloss over Emerson here.
So I think I have an interesting perspective here, and I think tall girls will relate to this.
Ah.
I'm a very tall girl. I'm like 5'9", right? And being a tall girl, it is so hard to talk to guys, bro. Oh my gosh, every guy in Northview is like 5'5". Nothing against them, right? But they have
I'm not
stuff
offended.
against me.
That is true. I have heard about stuff like that. Yeah.
You know,
It-
and so if you were taller than every doorway,
I was
you're
gonna say,
also
it gets
taller than every
so
guy,
much worse.
right?
You're never gonna have a dude taller than you
No,
ever.
bro. Some girl this morning told me she was scared of me because of how tall I was.
And you're 5'9". Add an extra 2 feet to that, it's over.
It's
Wait.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why you
that
gotta
can't be
lose.
my answer, but like I agree. It's straight up.
Yeah.
Okay, I see your point, and I can't really speak much
Yeah, I
on
was
it
gonna
because
say, when you see it, what else are you gonna say about it?
but at the same time, it's like I feel like even if you're like that as a guy too, you still face the same issues. Who wants to date a guy who's like 8 foot tall?
A lot of people.
Really?
Yeah. We're in sync.
High five.
We're one of the people, I guess. But yeah.
I don't feel the same way. I don't
Well,
really. It's not my mindset about height.
you're
so-
not into guys though, right?
No.
So you wouldn't date an 8-foot guy. Would you date a 6-foot guy?
Well, like I wouldn't date a guy in the first
That's
place.
Exactly. That's why you don't feel like that.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, but it's kind of like the same thing for the guy under the doorknob, though. Short guys have a lot of the same struggles as
They
us
do.
tall girls,
Yeah, like, and part of it is like life would be easier as a tall dude than.
right? Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Being shorter than a doorknob. That sucks.
Right. 'Cause we have all these logical arguments against being tall, but just there's something so primal that says, man, being short has to suck.
like girl or guy, you're
You know
cooked.
what?
Well,
You know what? The one thing that's
This
gonna
is
change,
something about society. Is
the,
what it
the one
says.
thing that's gonna change my opinion to be the tall one is you know, every December people are gonna make so many like Santa's elves jokes, dude.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Ultimately, crouching to go under a doorway is not that hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
As long as your back doesn't just like
Well, your back's gonna suck regardless because you're that tall. But like, no one's ever collapsed like a Lego forward. Like, you'll be fine. You're not gonna break your back by crouching.
get a really big cane. I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
just pull one of the street
It
lights.
is, I feel
What's the
so
tallest
weird
guy
for
in the
saying
world?
this. I would rather risk being 8 foot and kind of have a cane than just being short. It feels so weird to say that.
Yeah.
That says something about society. But I think I am relatively tall. Like I'm 6 foot, bordering on 6'1". It's like I'm used to this in a lot more ways than I'm used to being short, just in general.
So
My final answer is tall.
I think everybody just goes tall here.
No, you still
Or
go tall.
I say short.
Yeah, I was about
okay.
to say, like, you had a very good point. You still go tall. Okay, we have time.
Wait, one more thing though,
Yeah, go
Emerson. We never talked about this. So even if you're short,
Uh-huh.
you're still okay with like having all the downsides of being short? Because like we talked about like some parts.
You know
but-
what? I could probably more easily work on the robots that I work on if I could get.
Oh yeah,
inside
like
them.
a little gremlin just going at it.
I'm saying, isn't that wonderful?
That is
Yeah,
a fair
no,
point.
that's a good point. And I think that's a good way to end it. Now we're going to go to one more, and this is comes to us by our lovely Aiden once again, and it is: would you rather have the power of invisibility, but only when no one is looking at you, or the ability to fly only at walking speed? No, actually, y'all go, because I have a very strong opinion about this, and I know y'all disagree.
Fly.
Invisibility.
Invisibility, like it's a question.
What? When nobody's looking?
Invisibility when no one's
No,
looking.
okay, you must understand what peripheral vision is, right? You're not looking at someone, right? But you still see them.
Right.
You don't understand how much more you can like do if you're just not being able to be seen. Like you basically like have. I'm not trying to like say stealing is the big option, but like you have like a sleight of hand. Like you can like sneak up on someone and go "Whoa," like scare them, right?
Or you can fly. Flying at walking speed does not imply a height limit. It only implies a speed. You can go as tall as you want. If we're talking about gimmicks you can make a light as a really good magician. If you can just fly, like no one's gonna catch on to you. You have your magic trick that you can just fly and like whatever.
And you know what? You don't even need to think
If you
about
want
kicking
to-
puppies.
This is a
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You don't even need to think about puppies. You see,
But you're so slow.
Walking isn't that, I have long legs. Walking isn't that slow for me.
Here's the thing about making money, right? So if you wanted to make money with your little magician stick,
Don't put my little magician stick. Be nice to my magician stick.
I cannot imagine any person making a ton of money as a magician, right?
Hey.
But
Maybe.
a person could make a ton of money as a bank robber.
You're gonna get no.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right. You come at night. There's no one there. On the security cameras, you're not there
Well,
because
no.
no one can see you, right?
They can see you. Okay, here's the thing. This is the part that confuses me about that. No one can see you, but if someone is looking at where you would be on a camera, are they not looking? So where do we define as looking at you?
I say
It's
it has to
footage,
be active.
right?
Like
Okay,
you have
that's
to
fair.
like look at
That's
someone
it.
directly.
Regardless, I'm not going to turn to a life of crime like you
So-
hooligans, like you freaks. So I don't care. I'm not doing it. But
So there's
sometimes.
also not only is that dirty money, like God, have some self-respect.
Yeah,
for
like how would you
yourselves.
live with yourself? I'd be my
and-
magician act, having a great life, and y'all are robbing banks.
Your
How would your
entire-
mother think? What would your family think about that?
You know-
Your entire charade falls over when there's a single guard in the building.
Yeah.
So, what if I just like hustle really hard though? Like I can make it work. Like so you're acting like I just walked in there, called it a day.
I agree you can make it work. I don't want to.
Well, another thing too. You mentioned magician tricks, right?
Okay, well,
what if I use mirrors, right? You're not looking at me directly.
So now you're
I'm
just
gonna
wearing
be
like
honest.
a mirror
I'm
shirt.
gonna be honest. My entire bit going into this was not that magician is the way to go. I don't think I'm picking flying only because I could be a really good magician. I'm saying it was a weird first point to bring up. I'll give you that. But my first point was, hey, you could be a good magician. But like flying, we agreed. There's some sort of whimsy in flying. There's just a kind of beauty in being able to fly.
But you go back to this, right? Bugs, birds. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit by some inconvenient stuff.
I honestly, I would probably just like fly around the house.
If you go, well, so, if,
Wait,
so you just want like to not use your legs.
Yeah, I want to be
Hold up.
lazy.
Would like flying above your bed just be more comfortable than using a mattress?
No way.
No, because
No.
you fall asleep and you just go. like
Well,
Are you
assuming it's,
controlling your
like,
flight or
I
like,
assume.
you have to
so,
control
yeah.
it. That's not.
It's not like an
yeah.
involuntary thing.
Yeah.
But the invisibility thing is more involuntary. You like no one looks at you.
Wait, do you have control? Invisible, but only when no one's looking. Do you have control over that? You'd never be able to see yourself in a. Are you someone?
Are you
I
a
don't-
vampire?
Yeah, you would never be able to see yourself in a mirror. You'd never be able to see. You don't get to see yourself.
Am I
How
someone-
weird is that? Like you would only see yourself in photos with other people. Would that not be strange to you?
What
Are
if,
you not
wait, no,
looking at
you could
yourself
see yourself
in
if
the
you
mirror?
hold your hand up.
Okay, well,
like if
here's
you
the-
hold your hand up, for
Is
example,
it?
you
It's
could see
phrased
yourself.
as when no one is looking. Oh, okay. I thought it was if someone else sees you. You're no one. I think you count as one.
Yeah.
Well,
Never mind.
Logan,
Point
you could-
rescinded.
even if that like that's true, you could just look at your hand and like that's looking at yourself at the same time and see
Exactly,
it.
yeah,
So there's like ways to get around it.
I mean, also to be fair, you're looking at your nose constantly, whether you like it or not.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay, well,
if you close
for
one eye-
for every audio listener, which is all of you, we all immediately looked at our noses right after he said that. Okay, it's weird because invisibility just feels so scummy to me. Because I don't know what I'm gonna do for good with invisibility.
All right,
you,
Mr.
you
5
could
million.
be so here.
I prefer my good life.
No, there's a difference between doing neutral and actively doing bad. The invisibility route, all I've heard is you could be a hustler, you could harass your friends, or you can steal from banks. That's different from donating money. By the way, with 5 million, you can still donate money.
if
We're
I-
not
Robin Hood?
coming back
What
to
if
this,
I
though.
donated the bank money?
So are you donating the bank, the money
So
you
Emerson,
stole?
we're trying to be Robin Hood.
So you want to be Robin Hood? That's honorable. I don't want to do that, bro. They're gonna ask, hey, where did all this money come from?
Bro, I'm going to go into Elon Musk's house,
Okay.
Oh, wait
Okay.
a second.
and we're gonna take all of his Teslas, and
And
we're gonna redistribute them around the
okay,
world.
she sold me. I forgot that you could harass people that you don't like.
Oh, Lord. So am I the only one with good faith still using?
Okay. No, here's the real thing, though. I think there's more practical uses that are like less. You could. It seems like a neat part. What really are you gonna do with flying?
I mean, you could harass someone by.
You could what?
You could harass someone.
Yeah. There's no follow up. My point was, well, invisibility is all about harassing people, and I don't want to do that. If your first answer, you can harass.
Well,
someone.
you're saying you could harass people you don't like for being. I guess I'm just gonna call it semi-invisible, right? You could do the same thing by just, Okay, so when you're holding like something above someone else's head, and because you're taller, they can't reach it.
Okay.
You could be an elementary school bully every day of your life.
Okay, I am on the side of invisibility still, but I do have to give the other side a little credit with one thing I thought would be cool. You could just like think of how much like aura you could have.
It would just be kind of cool to fly.
You could like just like stand like depending on how you do it, right? You could just be like up in the air, looking at someone down.
That's kind
and
of
just
corny,
like
actually.
would.
That's corny.
It's corny, but it would be cool. Like you'd be intimidated.
No, they would not.
Like
They throw a rock at you, and you'd be like,
you
you wouldn't be intimidating.
could be like, well, I'll come down to your level, like pop down, you know?
And then you get beat up.
If I rock.
You can run really well. Like yeah.
What they can do? You just like jump up in the air and you just like run away.
You can't run away.
Oh, that's true. You can just like slowly walk away upward.
Yeah. You know what? I think we have time for one more. Let's get the final answers. I'm gonna go against my better judgment with invisibility.
Invisibility's here too.
Why am I always the one in good faith here?
Just be a sheep. Just agree with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that.
Glad you're part of the
But
team
what's
now.
your answer?
Flying.
Fly.
Ugh.
And invisibility.
And
of
invisibility. Okay, and now for our last one of the episode, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna start, and end it. So lastly, would you guys rather be locked in a mall with all the individual stores completely closed and the bars down, so you can't go and hide them, right? With a lion or a gorilla?
Now let's set some ground rules. Can we assume that, have you all been to North Point Mall or the?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we assume it's North Point Mall, just for simplicity's sake? That way we all have a frame of reference other than
But
like
North
an app.
Point Mall is like a T-shaped mall, right?
Yeah, it's just the average T-shirt.
Yeah.
mall.
Yeah,
So just imagine a normal mall that's T-shaped.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying for all of us to be on the same field here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how fast are gorillas?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, how
Well,
badly
okay. Does anyone
it-
have a default answer immediately? Actually,
gorilla?
Mine is lion.
mine is
personally.
lion too. Gorillas are hateful, dude.
No, you don't understand, right? Because like gorillas, they're actually not an apex predator, so they're not like destined to like come over and murk you.
I don't think the question is let's get locked in a mall for 24 hours with a peaceful gorilla. I don't think that's the
No,
question.
I'm not saying it's people, right? But it is far less bloodthirsty than a lion.
Untrue. Gorillas are hateful beings, as I have said before.
Okay, so how can people fall into enclosures and then not get like mauled instantly?
Well, they did.
No, but that's
What was that thing called? Harambe?
Harambe.
no, that was the difference, right? They didn't get. It was a child, right? Childs are very fragile. They came out pretty basically.
Are we blaming the child for falling into a gorilla pen and dying?
No.
like
He
that-
didn't die.
He didn't die.
He didn't die?
No,
Okay.
he didn't die. That's my whole point.
Oh.
Is that even though he fell into an enclosure, he came out pretty much unscathed. But if you fell into an enclosure with lions, I can't say the same thing would happen.
Well, you don't know that.
I think we do.
I don't think we do.
Do you want to go find out?
Hold on.
Let me in.
I think we are greatly understating just how intimidating gorillas are, dude. They like. I'm not being able to phrase it, but dude, gorillas are crazy. I don't have an argument. I'm just saying they're,
fast,
crazy.
They can climb.
But
they got big
they
arms.
can climb big arms. Are very like they can punch stuff.
So
A lion can't punch
I'm
you.
not saying I can outrun a gorilla.
No,
but I
none of
would-
us can outrun it.
But I feel like I could outrun it a little more than a lion. A lion is like on 4 feet.
I'll be honest. I don't know. Okay, so for lions, the big worry about them is the sense of smell. I think you're gonna have a lot less places to hide because the lion's gonna be able to smell you out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think probably.
Yeah.
It's a
Sounds right.
cat.
I like cat, yeah.
It's a cat. I could be wrong.
Feel
If
like-
I'm wrong, whatever. And it's the claws, dude. That, ugh. But so my big point, the reason I mentioned North Point Mall is I'm just trying to figure out: can you escalator camp these guys? Can you stay to Can a gorilla go up an escalator? Genuine question: do y'all think a gorilla?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, there goes. Could a lion go up an escalator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, that was it. So,
No. Well, like it's like going around a corner, right? Like you run to one side, run to the other, and then you like go back around.
yeah, we're gonna Scooby Doo with the gorilla.
Yeah. Go through a door, pop out another one. You know.
No, but I feel like gorillas are like low key chill. Like that's my brother, kinda.
They're gonna kill you. I feel like I'm not doing it a service because I'm just gonna say it's gonna kill you.
No,
like,
no.
It's gonna kill you.
You have
know
food.
those? You know those chicken sandwiches at the North Point Mall? I feel like I could give a chicken
No, but
sandwich
all
to
the
a
stores
gorilla.
are
are
closed.
closed.
Oh,
But what if you make it yourself?
With what?
Like if you
With
like
the materials.
You don't
from
get
the
prep
Chick-fil-A.
time?
What, you gotta like break
You don't
into
get
one of the
prep time to
stores?
bring in I guess it doesn't. The gates are closed. If you find a way to get into one of them,
well, like I
you're
can.
set
Yo, if
regardless.
I'm still short from that last question, I could go into.
There's no contingency.
Wait, what-
if I'm still rid from the other question, I just don't do this.
What if I make like a pact with like the gorilla, right? Like
What are we doing here? We were doing so good this entire
Alright, guys, just trying
episode,
to wrap it up.
and
I
now
can't
we're
do
at
this.
the end, and we're
Wait.
about packs with gorillas.
No, like,
dude.
I'd be like, banana over here, monkey orange.
You're
like,
dying.
no.
We're tearing your head off, and you're dead.
And like, you know, the video of like the gorilla like opening the cage like this and like shaking it. Like, I'll get.
That's not a gorilla. It's like a little. There might be a gorilla
Well, either way,
video.
easier to do. Rip off the thing. I'll start making a buffet, and I'll present it, and I'll walk out of the mall scot-free, and I'll live to the end of my
So
days.
So
I
I
do
love
come
to
back.
question you normally. I'm just gonna let that hang in the air.
I'm just gonna let you
said
like
that.
with you and your whimsy be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a-
You said that on an open mic. Yeah, man. You're gonna make the gorilla a buffet.
you're acting like I'm gonna back down because you said that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So for my answer, it feels like it's hard to. I don't know why I am just so primally scared of gorillas, bro. But the thing is, I really do think the lion has a better chance of tracking you. They both kill you, basically instantly, regardless. I'm not like fighting. No. You're not getting into a fist fight with a gorilla and winning. You're not outrunning it.
I could.
But you could. But I still feel like if
maybe-
you had to go out, the gorilla would definitely be a lot more peaceful. Cause like it's like one punch. Like pew,
It's
you
not
got it.
one punch.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Okay, I don't
Oh,
want to get too graphic.
He grabs me, he throws me, done.
I'm not gonna get graphic, but that's most certainly would not happen.
Okay, but a lion doesn't even have a chance of
Yeah, you're
doing
dead.
a quick. No,
You're
you're toast.
Yeah.
But you're also
gonna be
gonna have to be
agony.
slow, because it's not being efficient. The gorilla would just like make call.
Oh
it a day.
wait, you could go up the escalator, go to that. You know the top of the tree display they have, and you could jump to that. And
You can climb in a tree.
I could.
Okay, let me remind you of the two animals we're doing. A gorilla. I climb.
Well, I'm not pro gorilla.
Well,
so.
guess what? You know what gets stuck in trees? Cats.
You said that like you just disproved me.
No.
with the strongest
Mic drop.
No, but I give you a lighter
Yeah,
example.
you know what? Mic drop. Cats get stuck in trees.
No,
Everywhere.
but you know what I'm trying to imply, right?
I do.
Cats can climb up trees.
I do think probably.
Okay.
I feel like once a lion.
Well, lions can climb up trees. That's the issue.
I want to ask if you guys had an hour to prepare for this, and all the stores are now open. Would that change your
Gorilla.
your opinion? Gorilla.
I find a place to hide.
I would 1v1 it. Like,
I'm smart. I'm not fighting either of them. I'm just gonna be like a coward in the most efficient way possible. I'm gonna leave out food. I'm gonna like.
oh yeah, fair.
What does North Mall have? It has shirts.
I'll
I'll put on 5 shirts so I don't get killed.
You go to the gorilla and you just give it like a nice white T-shirt.
Yeah.
It has the airsoft range,
It has
bro.
and there's also like you have Hot Topic.
What's it gonna do?
Surely a lion would like something from Hot Topic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, there's Spencer's. Oh, never mind.
Get a picture of a prey and just like stick it up
Yeah,
and like, go
just
at it.
like a cat poster on the wall or whatever.
We also have the carousel. I feel like if I got on the carousel, I think
You
that
could climb up on the carousel probably.
Wait, what if I get in that like little train that goes around and I run away? Like I'd be
What?
like.
They probably lock that up.
Wait, no, you said if anything's available in the mall.
Oh,
So like I can get in a little train. The moment it comes at me, I'm like booking it. Like I'm out of here.
you've been to the mall before,
I have.
and you've seen the train,
Yeah.
and you think that's fast in the line.
Well, it at least gives me protection.
Yo, I
You're
would
dead.
mod it. I have an hour. I would mod it, bro.
You would mod.
Emerson could do it.
Yeah, probably. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there's a right answer. I think we all die regardless. But I'm gonna pick a lion because a lion is doing less
Yeah.
damage to me. I don't care what you say. Gorillas are evil, foul creatures.
I think I could like still 1v1 a gorilla.
I think you're insane.
Winning.
Okay.
Like, I give it the old one too, you know?
So your answer is gorilla.
Yeah.
Lion.
Lion.
I'm sensible.
Gorilla.
So we're just lying at this point.
We're
Lion.
talking about how you're gonna like.
So the
make
one
a
thing about
pact
the
with
lion is
gorilla.
that I'm torn because I think I'm dead regardless. But if I'm not dead, you're more likely to die against the lion because like the sense of smell and the speed.
Yeah.
But like I think I'm dead regardless. So I'm picking the death I would
It's
prefer.
an apex predator. That should indicate that it's more
mean, both
dangerous. Well, no, the gorilla's not.
What's killing a gorilla?
It's not apex predator.
I don't know what an apex predator is. I guess.
Top of the food chain.
Yeah. What's
So,
killing a gorilla?
Well, I'm not an expert in that, but I do know that.
I think you definitely
Jonah,
just
no.
made that
I can't go into elaboration, but Jonah gave me explicit knowledge.
Jonah
that
is a
not.
member of podcast. Could you just look up if a gorilla is an apex predator?
Sure.
We are getting caught up in this. We're gonna end the episode soon. I swear. But we just need. I'm petty now. I'm petty. If a
I'm
gorilla
right.
is an apex predator, if it isn't, you switch to lion. If it's not, I switch to gorilla.
Okay, deal.
It's not okay. Gorilla wins. Gorilla wins. As simple as that.
If you know what happened? I had prep time.
You had prep time. Oh, and it all comes full circle. Okay,
And you
so
know what? Yeah, again, I'm the only
the
one.
vote.
I'm once again ostracized by my three
Man, I don't know. I
peers.
think you're just bad at the
I'll
opinion thing.
number nothing.
Okay, well, let's. Thomas, you want to sign us off? Oh wait, just for the final tally, just to
yeah.
make sure. Gorilla,
Lion.
Oh.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. Gorilla.
And gorilla.
Gorilla. Thomas, lead us out.
I gotta hang my head in shame. This concludes this episode of Point of View. Thank you so much for listening. For a transcript of the episode, head to Point of View tab on our website, nhsmessenger.org, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at NHS Point of View for updates and new episodes. I'm your host, Thomas,
Logan.
Emerson.
Aiden.
and this has been Point of View.